What's going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back. UnrealEntGaming here again, joined by JRZ San, and today we're going to be talking more about Dragon Ball Super, in particular, two things. Oob being mentioned in Dragon Ball Super, and the fusion technique being banned from the Universal God of Destruction tournament. Now, first things first, I want to cover the first topic, which is going to be fusions. Now, Mr. JR Sans, now, I have a question for you. Now, with fusions, or at least the fusion technique not being allowed and being against the rules within this tournament, how do you think, this sets up as a foreshadowing down the road? Because, if you really paid attention throughout the Dragon Ball series, or at least the Dragon Ball Super series, there have been many references and many, things that were mentioned that have a lot of foreshadowing, that hold a lot of weight, that being, I believe, like the foreshadowing of them fighting Beerus again, the foreshadowing of them, growing stronger as time goes on, in which case we saw with Goku and Vegeta training within Whis', and Beerus' home planet and stuff. So, with fusion being banned, how do you think this affects, the outcome of this tournament? Because, again, we do understand that with fusion, they have a much greater chance of winning, whether it's Gogeta and or Vegito. So I would want to know, like, your take on this, because I made a video about this before, sharing my thoughts on this. So I would like to know your thoughts on fusions not being involved in this tournament, and how do you think that affects Goku and Vegeta's chances, especially if going up against someone who's, like, really, really strong, which we don't know who that's going to be. But let's say, for example, there does emerge a character who's, like, ridiculously strong. What do you think their chances are, even as gods? Even having that god power and not being able to utilize it's like their fullest of their potentials. How do you think that plays about? Like with fusion being gone, what are their chances here?
Honestly, it slims it down if let's say Hit becomes as powerful as we're all speculating to be. If you just like out of this world powerful, right? I mean,
right.
It's gonna be very, very difficult for Vegeta to say we banned fusion because they don't want the kids to join.
Right.
And that's going to be, if he was that powerful of Hit or Kabe or someone's that powerful, it'll be very difficult. And the chances will be slim. But, I mean, our heroes always find a way somehow to win. That's the truth.
But here's the thing. You just mentioned something really interesting to me. Now, you just brought up the fact that they, spoke to the kids about fusion and stuff. Do you think that they created that rule just to keep the kids out of this, or?
Yeah, I was right about to say that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. It's kind of like when you tell your son, like, yeah. I mean, you can't do this because it's only for adults, or
like Santa Claus is real kind of thing. Yeah.
He's not real.
He's not real, bro. I'm sorry to break your fucking heart, man. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I mean, shit. Now my life is ruined.
So sorry.
It's not good, bro. No, but I was thinking about that when he said that, because I don't remember him mentioning it like out loud to Champa when they discussed, I guess, like the rules, when Goku had said, I want it to be kind of like the Tenkaichi Budokai, and
yeah,
but it's like, well, I want it to be a written test, so no retards or dumbos, fight, right?
Of course, yep.
So, but I no fusion was really mentioned. Now, that's a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time, because I mean they said it to the kids. A lot of people took it seriously, and you never know. I mean they could always, there's always rules.
I mean, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, they could always bring it back. But based off of their history, I don't know if Vegeta would settle to fuse again, because with all that power backed up in them with the Super Saiyan God powers and stuff, and with them training for 3 years, man, you would assume, like, all right, man, you've been training for 3 years straight. You're strong enough as it is. But if you fight someone and you've been training as a god for 3 years and that still doesn't help your chances, something's wrong here. So, again, like, I kind of, like, dread the fact that they don't have fusion involved, because I would love for this to boil down to, like, well, I mean, let's just put this in a broad perspective here. Let's say, for example, everyone gets eliminated, right? At least for Universe 7, right? And all you have left is either Goku and or Vegeta, whoever you guys want to choose, and they're the last ones on the team. So you have Goku and or Vegeta fighting Hit, Kabe, Frost, Magenta, Botamo, and they're the last ones, right? And they're tired, they're exhausted, they're Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans, but yet, like, they can't hold their own. How awesome would it be, or at least in this perspective, if they were to go on ahead and perform some sort of fusion technique to where they get to become this one being, and they actually go through everybody who, in particular, let's use Gogeta for example. So Gogeta comes about, he gets, he just gets by Botamo, Magenta, he beats Kabe, he beats Frost, and finally, when you would expect for his fusion to go on and last a little longer, it's down to the final round. Gogeta versus Frost, and then Gogeta separates. So now you can't really do the fusion anymore because you only have one chance of doing it. So now you have the person that was originally the sole survivor, Goku and or Vegeta, fighting off Hit by themselves and stuff. I mean, there's so many concepts as to how you can do fusion.
Hmm.
I'm not too stumped out on it, but like what are your thoughts on like the presence of Super Saiyan God here? Like, do you think it's gonna make an appearance, from Goku? Oh, I'm not from Goku anymore because he's eliminated, but from Vegeta. Like, do you think Vegeta's gonna use that God power in this tournament? And if he does, how far is that gonna get him?
Yes, I do believe so because if I'm not mistaken, one of the titles for one of the future episodes, like really recent, when Goku's actually fighting Botamo, is Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think we just finished getting Super Saiyan got Super Saiyan, so I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that instead of the actual Super Saiyan,
Okay.
right? So if Goku needs to go Super Saiyan got Super Saiyan against Botamo,
Well, actually,
considering
it wasn't Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. All it said was Super Saiyan. So maybe he just goes Super Saiyan
well,
one.
maybe yeah, maybe he just
Or maybe
depend.
that's the reason why it causes him to get eliminated or something, which causes Frost and Piccolo to go up. But like,
Maybe
all right, from your point of view, do you agree with fusion being banned, or do you disagree with fusion being banned?
it's I want it. I didn't want Fusion to be in this. We had discussed this actually a good while ago
Yeah.
about the whole Fusion. I don't want Fusion to be here right now. I
Okay.
feel like it's too soon. We just got the form, right?
You
We
got
just
your wish, bitch.
we just got the form. Come
Got your
on.
damn wish, man.
I do want to see Fusion. I'm not saying I don't
Oh,
want
now
to.
you want to see it.
No. I do want to see it, just not in the tournament. It's way too soon. They just literally got the damn transformation like 5 minutes ago in
No,
the
you're
freeze
absolutely right.
off.
You're absolutely right. I mean, so you would agree with them banning it or disagree? Because
No,
what it seems like you're agreeing with
not
them taking the tournament.
I don't want it to be in the tournament, but I don't want them to ban it. I mean, what if they do need it?
Well, I mean, if they do need it, if this causes the tournament to be abruptly like halted and stuff, then I think they're all gonna use like fuck the rules here. But within the tournament rules, if nothing gets interrupted and if all
I
plays off
believe
well, then it's banned, dude. You can't use it. But so backtracking here, going back to Oob. Now Oob was mentioned. How do you think this affects like the ending, the technical ending, quote unquote, of Dragon Ball Z with Goku versus Oob? Because at that time, Vegeta didn't really know about who Oob was, the whole
yeah.
reincarnation gimmick. So like, how do you think this affects like the future of Oob being shown within Dragon Ball? Because Vegeta he's never seen him, but he knows of him at least because he brought up to Goku like, hey, weren't you the one that asked King Yama to resurrect and bring back Boo into a reincarnated human state and stuff? So like how do you think this affects Oob? Like, do you think Oob is gonna make his appearance in Dragon Ball Super like way down the line, or do you think like he's just gonna be kept off the screen until future episodes come about?
That's a good question. I was thinking about this earlier. I feel like he's gonna make a snippet, like a little snippet,
When? Like
and
later
the
down the
super,
road or just anytime soon?
and the super. He's too young, man. He's too young.
But then again,
He,
they can always show him off like working in his village and stuff because we,
yeah,
we already had that backstory about him struggling and having to
yeah.
feed his family and stuff. So maybe they might showcase Goku watching over him somewhere while he's up in the sky and then just
There you
looking
go.
down and seeing like this little kid working hard and stuff. Maybe.
That's the snippet I think that's
It
gonna
is.
happen.
It is. But do you think this affects the ending of Dragon Ball? Like, are they gonna revise it and change it, or are they gonna keep it the same?
Dude, honestly, they have to. Goku was not this weak at the end of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, this strong. My bad. I mean, he was weaker. What am I meant to say? He was weaker in the end of Dragon Ball Z than right now.
So you believe Goku was weaker at the end of the final episode of Dragon Ball Z as opposed to now?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he would have
So
to
do you think they're gonna revise that? In your opinion?
unless they end up making the final transformation his regular form, which would end up being the same. You get me? So it can go
I
50-50.
see where you're coming from. Okay,
It
but
could,
like,
it could go
but in the end,
50-50.
do you think they're gonna revise like the final
I,
episode and change it up?
I don't think Akira's gonna change it up. I think it's gonna end up the same way.
The same
He's gonna,
way.
he's gonna find a way how to make it end the same way. I mean, you would have to. There'd be way too many like plot holes, as there already is.
Dude, there are already
As
a lot of plot holes up in this bitch. I mean, there are a lot that I am like against because as good as the show is and as good as it's getting, there are so many things, bro, that do not make any sense. Like within the manga, at least everything is like tied in just a little better. But in the anime episodes, it's like they're not showing off everything that we've seen in the manga. I mean, Granted, that happens more often than not. But I don't know, like, do you, like, all right, for example, right, they showcased in the manga Goku training with Vegeta in the hyperbolic time chamber as gods. Are they going to show that in the show? They showcased the written portion of the test within the tournament. Are they going to show that in the show? Like, there's so many things thus far that we've seen in the manga that they haven't really showed off in the show, which kind of upsets me. But I'm really happy that they mentioned Oob, because that gives them sort of like relevance as to what's going on. And again, it's just like they mentioned him being a newborn. So this definitely is way before the World Martial Arts Tournament. But you're saying that they're gonna change that. That's a very I mean, I think that the final episode is definitely going to incorporate Oob versus Goku, but in a very much different way. Like, probably like much different than how we've depicted it and seen it like in the original ending. Perhaps maybe Akira Toriyama is gonna have it to where Oob is slightly stronger than how he was depicted in the final show, or maybe he's weaker. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I do feel as if, you know, there is going to be a change. They're not just going to like give you this new series and end it off with the old episode from the original series, you know. But like, what are your final thoughts on Oob here? Like, so aside from him just appearing in snippets, do you ever see him like being a part of like the show, like having his own episode here, like working or like working out or whatever the case may be? Like, or do you think they're just going to show like little bits and snippets of him, but nothing else more of that?
They would have to have an episode of him, man. At least one around the very end, the very, very end. I would think so.
I mean, I hope they show him off, because that would be really cool for them to just be like, hey, so this is the reincarnated evil Boo and stuff like that. Like just having everyone just be like, oh wow, like that's crazy. I mean, even though Kid Buu like being reincarnated doesn't really mean much anymore because you have gods now and stuff, but
yeah, exactly.
It's still pretty cool to know, because Kid Buu was freaking strong as hell. So let us know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Your thoughts on Oob, your thoughts on the fusion techniques, and what you guys think is going to happen as Dragon Ball Super progresses. Once again, guys, thank you all for watching. If you guys are Dragon Ball Super fans, don't forget to subscribe. That way you guys don't miss a single Dragon Ball Super episode. If you guys enjoyed, then smash that like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Check out JR's Saiyans, guys, and we'll be seeing you all in the next update. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.